Welcome to Section 5, Printing. Printing a spreadsheet is something that many people struggle with. For some reason, it just seems like you can never get your work to come out the printer on the right number of pages, with the text in the right size, and with the result looking as professional as possible. Sound familiar? Well, the good news is that all that is about to change during this section. We'll begin by covering the basics of printing your work, and then cover some other useful printing features which can make your life much easier and your work more professional and user-friendly. In previous versions of Excel, there was a print preview option that allowed you to preview and modify the workbook before printing. You may have noticed that this feature seems to be gone in Excel 2010 and 2013. It actually has not disappeared. It has just been combined with the print window to create the print pane, which is located in Backstage View. To get there, click the File tab, then select Print, and the print pane appears, with the print settings on the left and the print preview on the right. Remember, you can do this quickly from your spreadsheet view using the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+P. If you have multiple worksheets in your workbook, like we have here, you will need to decide if you want to print the whole workbook or specific worksheets. The Print Range drop-down menu lets you print active sheets or the entire workbook. A worksheet is considered active if it is selected. Remember, to select multiple worksheets, hold the Control key and select the relevant worksheet tabs. One of the most professional things you can add to a printed worksheet is a header and footer. In simple English, they are items that appear at the top or bottom of every printed page. You have a few ways to insert a header and footer. Option 1, click Header and Footer on the Insert tab on the ribbon. This takes you to Page Layout View and into the Add Header box. Option 2, click on the Page Layout Worksheet View button on the bottom right of the screen. When you click on the Add Header or Add Footer editing boxes, an extra tab of buttons appears on the ribbon. Excel has a bunch of built-in header and footer elements, which you can place on the left, center, or right of the page to suit your needs. For example, you might want the page number on the bottom center of each page. In that case, you need to go to the footer editing box, we can then click on the footer button, which gives us a whole range of default options. I'll choose the third option, which is page 1 of the total. As you can see, because my worksheet is only 1 page long, it now says page 1 of 1 at the bottom. Excel even knows that you might want a different header or footer on the first page of your document, so it has a checkbox on the ribbon for that. And finally, your third option for inserting a header and footer is to click Page Setup once you're in Backstage View. This will open a dialog box. Click on the Header Footer tab at the top of the box. Here you have all the same options as on the ribbon, but displayed in a dialog box. Let's insert a header in the middle that says Private and Confidential. Play around with the different elements so you get the hang of it. Printing a selection, or setting the print area, lets you choose which specific cells to print, as opposed to the default of the entire worksheet. Follow these simple steps. Number 1, select the cells that you want to print. Number 2, click Set Print Area on the Page Layout tab. Now, if we press Ctrl+P to take us to the print pane, you can see that the print preview includes only the selected cells. You could also have done this by selecting Print Selection from the Print Range drop-down menu in Backstage View. To fit a worksheet on one page, either select Fit Sheet on one page from the Scaling drop-down menu, or click Page Setup and choose the Fit To checkbox. Here you can choose how many pages wide and tall you want your printout to be. It is also very useful to use the Page Break Preview worksheet view. Remember from section 1 that to get here you click on the third little button on the bottom right of the screen. These blue lines indicate where the page breaks are and what will and won't be printed. Everything inside the lines will be printed. Note that there's a watermark with the page number over here. Click and drag the blue lines to adjust the print area and page breaks accordingly. The margins of your worksheet may need to be adjusted to make data fit more comfortably on the printed page. You can adjust the margins in Print Preview as follows. Click on the Show Margins button at the bottom right of your screen. Your margins will appear. Now hover your mouse over one of the margin markers until the double arrow appears. Click and drag the margin to your desired location. Here's a much bigger database. When printing a database such as this, Excel gives you the option to change page orientation from portrait to landscape. Portrait positions the page vertically, landscape positions it horizontally. Portrait is useful for worksheets needing to fit more rows on one page, whereas landscape is useful for worksheets needing to fit more columns on one page. In this case, the default portrait orientation is not ideal. The data has spilled over onto 6 pages. If we change to landscape orientation, it reduces it to 4 pages. We can then click Page Setup and fit to 1 page wide and 2 pages tall. Our printout will be a whole lot neater now. Have you ever had to read a database which runs onto multiple pages, where the column and row headings only appeared on the first page? It becomes difficult to know what's going on from pages 2 onwards. The Print Titles command allows you to select specific rows and columns to appear on each page. Follow these steps. Click the Print Titles button on the Page Layout tab. The Page Setup dialog box appears. Click the icon at the end of the rows to repeat a top field. Your mouse becomes the small selection arrow. Click on the rows you want to appear on each printed page. The rows to repeat at top dialog box will record your selection. Click the icon at the end of the rows to repeat at the top field, and repeat for the columns to repeat at left if necessary. Before clicking OK, you can view a print preview by clicking on the button over here. As you can see, page 1 includes the headers at the top, and so does page 2. Here's a quick summary of what we learnt in section 5. How to use the different worksheet views to assist us when printing, how to create professional headers and footers, how to print specific areas of our work, as well as loads of other useful tricks when printing. Congratulations! You've reached the end of the Excel 101 course. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you learnt a lot. But most importantly, I hope that you practice what you've learnt and that you implement it in your work straight away. Don't forget to join the conversation, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We post lots of useful tips and videos. If you have any queries, comments or feedback about the course, please drop us a mail on info@excelacademy.co.za. Till next time, cheers.